All right.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Risen Empire. I'm David.
And I'm Ethan.
And we're here today to take a look at some brand new images just released by Amazon Prime for their adaptation for the Fallout series. Before we get into the details on that, please take a second to like, share, and subscribe to our content. Every single interaction is helping us grow so much faster than we had even hoped we could. Feel free to drop a comment down below with your thoughts on the series, what you want to see, what you don't want to see. We read every single comment. They mean so much to us. And we're having so much fun bringing you all of this content. We have so much more coming, and we're having a blast hanging out with you guys.
Now, we first heard about this way back in July of 2020, so it's understandable if this has kind of slipped your mind a little bit. Well, after more than 3 years of near total silence, we have some new details, including a release date and some of the casting.
That's great. The series is being directed by husband and wife, Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy. They actually directed the HBO sci-fi drama Westworld, which was based on Michael Crichton's works.
Great show.
Jonathan is also Christopher Nolan's brother.
Okay, all right.
And he actually helped write Interstellar, The Dark Knight, and The Prestige, 3 of our favorite movies.
Fantastic movies.
So he definitely has experience with sci-fi. He's also a huge fan of Fallout, so it's got a great chance to be a great adaptation.
Here's hoping.
And yes, we do fully understand how rare video game adaptations are, but we have to hope for something.
We do. It's set to launch on Amazon Prime on April 12th, 2024. The story will take place in LA and will be fully canon and will be established with all the games and titles in the same universe. Todd Howard, director of Bethesda, is also serving as an executive producer with control of the story.
Awesome.
Which certainly helps.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
I'm not really familiar with most of the cast, which doesn't really mean anything either way. I mean, Star Wars was all no-name actors.
Oh, yeah.
They're just lesser known. Probably the biggest name attached to the project is Michael Emerson, who played Benjamin Linus on Lost.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, and he was the lead on Person of Interest, another great show.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's going to be playing an eccentric researcher named Wiltzig, and gets to stay above ground this time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. His episode count has yet to be announced, though, so we'll have to see if that turns out to be a cameo or a recurring role of some sort.
Okay, yeah. Other than that, it is mostly lesser-known actors, which doesn't really mean much of anything by itself. We've seen plenty of incredible series with entirely unknown casts, just like Star Wars. And we've seen some pretty terrible movies with series of big A-list casts.
This is true.
The Dark Tower springs immediately to mind.
Yeah.
They're not nobodies by any means. They're just not huge household names.
Yeah.
Ella Purnell is the character or the actor that I'm the most excited to see. She's going to be playing Lucy.
Cool.
She's the daughter of the vault overseer Hank, who's played by Kyle MacLachlan, who you would know as the captain from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
Ella is another name that some of our followers might be familiar with. She actually voices Gwyndala in Star Trek Prodigy.
Oh, very cool.
Which is one of my family's favorite shows.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see her in this adaptation.
That's awesome.
Prodigy has had some crazy ups and downs this year that we will talk about in a whole different video.
Yeah, we'll have to get into some Star Trek at some
Yeah,
point.
it's been nuts with that this year.
Ella is all over the promo material, but we've been told a bit about her character and her story. She's described as charming, plucky, and strong. She'll be forced to leave the safety of the vault to some sort of emergency rescue mission and head out on her own, as happens. According to Nolan, the series will follow her collision with the hard reality of other people's experiences and what happened to the people who, frankly, were left behind to die.
Damn, okay. Throughout the show, Lucy's going to come in contact with some of the other members of the cast, including Walter Goggins, who's the ghoul. And we have some pretty cool pictures of him coming up later.
Okay.
He's going to serve as one of the series' anti-heroes.
All right.
You may know him from Django Unchained as Billy Crash. We don't really know much about him yet or his role in the story too much.
Okay.
His backstory is apparently going to be a big part of the narrative. He's several hundred years old.
As ghouls are in the Fallout universe.
Yep, exactly. The show's going to flash back to him pre-war.
Okay.
And we're going to kind of learn about him and follow him through that whole thing. His name was Cooper Howard.
Okay.
Before he became the Ghoul. and became a semi-undead, noseless sharpshooter, is basically how he's been described.
Alrighty then.
According to Nolan, he becomes our guide and our protagonist in that older world, even as we understand him to be the antagonist at the end of the world. He has such a great turn of phrase.
He really does. He
really does.
His way with words.
I wonder how much influence he had on those 3 movies he helped his brother with.
That's a good question. Probably a fair amount, actually.
Yeah, because those are some of Nolan's biggest.
They really are, yeah.
He also said that he's got, meaning the ghoul, he's got a lot of mileage on him, but he's still got some swagger and a kind of charm to him.
We also have Aaron Moten as Maximus. He's a squire in the Brotherhood of Steel, which everybody is familiar with.
Yep.
Who will be a self-serving, naive, wannabe soldier. This moral ambiguity has been a central focus for Nolan as he created the narrative.
Okay.
During a recent interview with Vanity Fair, he said, "One of the things we were trying to avoid is that kind of binary thinking, like they're good guys or bad guys. Whoever the good guys and bad guys were, they destroyed the whole world."
Makes sense.
Yes. So far, the only other real information about the plot they released was that most of the groups involved would be chasing an artifact that has the potential to radically change the power dynamic in this world. So your average sci-fi MacGuffin.
Yep, absolutely. Your mother boxes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ella is being set up to be our main character. She's only credited in 4 episodes, though, which seems weird to me. Apparently, Moses Arias is playing her brother, Norm. Okay. And he's actually credited in all 8 episodes. And that's basically all we know about him.
All right.
His name, and he's in all 8 episodes, and he's her brother.
So he's in more than a sister.
So we'll see that.
Alrighty then.
Other than that, the IMDb episode count doesn't really mean much of anything.
No, it's just
Star Trek Discovery actually hid an entire actor in IMDb.
Really?
Yeah, they made up a fake
That's
actor, created a page for him, created a whole spiel for him.
Wow.
And when he was playing, the same actor played 2 different roles. And when he was in that second role, even the cast didn't know it was the same guy until the reveal, basically live on screen to most of the cast.
That's funny.
So what IMDb has to say doesn't really mean much of anything. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I guess. Now, another really important note, although it is small, Todd Howard has said that the odd, twisted humor that we all love from the game will absolutely be a part of the story.
Oh, good. Okay.
And that humor was a huge part of making the adaptation worthwhile, and a part of why it's taken decades to find the right people to bring the story to life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see that. We also have some brand new images released by Amazon Prime. So let's take a look at those right now.
Awesome.
First up, we have some gorgeous wide shots of some power armored troops.
That's fantastic.
Take a look at that.
They look absolutely great.
Dude, don't they look like they're straight out of the game?
Yep, it could be a screenshot from the game.
If it didn't have the actual stamp on it, these were all released by Vanity Fair. They got first look, so they got their watermark on there.
Yeah.
But look at that. Isn't that amazing?
That looks great.
Absolutely gorgeous. I love the detailing on it. You can see they've got the crests on. They've got the eyepieces. Absolutely beautiful. They look
spot on.
They look worn in and used, dirty and grimy.
Yep.
We've also got this one here, taking a look at the Brotherhood of Steel.
Oh, I like that.
You can see all their airships.
Oh, that's the what's that thing called?
Vertibird?
No, the name of the airship. It's probably not the same airship, but what's the one in Fallout 4?
Oh, the
Pridwin.
Commonwealth.
The Pridwin.
Oh, the Pridwin. The Commonwealth was the ship you could make fly.
Oh.
But yeah, the Pridwin, that does look like the Pridwin. It looks exactly like it.
It might be the Pridwin.
It's even got the little bridge between the 2 sections there. Yeah, it could be. That would be a really cool tie-in.
That would be interesting, yeah.
It's set in the same universe,
That's
so
true.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But I love, like, even the uniforms. I mean, obviously they're just dressed down, but it feels right. It feels like something you'd see walking through the Brotherhood of Steel encampments.
Yeah, I like that.
Looks awesome. This here is a great shot of Aaron Moten standing next to the power armor. That gives you some real perspective on it.
They're Spartans, essentially.
They are. They're huge. The Halo series could have been so much better.
It could have been. Maybe this will kind of scratch that itch a little bit. That sort of sci-fi, kind of dystopian
video game adaptation.
Video game adaptation with people in big suits of armor.
God, it looks beautiful. And even the guns look right.
That looks exactly like an object in the game.
It's so clean.
I love that.
Love the detailing on the armor, all that work. Imagine how much goes into that.
It's the thing, because you say, oh, we'll just, maybe take the 3D model and, 3D print a suit or whatever. It doesn't work like that, because real humans are shaped different than video game humans.
Yep.
So it's actually really different to make costumes for real humans that look like the outfits from video games.
That makes sense. They actually talked about that with the ghoul.
Yeah.
They pared down his looks a little bit from how aggressive ghouls look in the game.
Yeah.
Because ghouls are kind of misshapen.
Right.
And when you hire an actor, you're hiring a face. You don't want to hide the whole thing under a prosthetic.
Also, it costs less.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And next up, we'll look at a couple of the shots of Walter Goggins as the ghoul.
All right.
I think it looks sick. I can see that they pared it down a little bit. Here's the first one.
Okay.
Kind of a little bit shaded back there, a little harder to see.
He looks like Red Skull from the MCU.
He does. Yeah, you're not wrong. I have wonderful Roland Deschain vibes off of that.
Very, very much so,
Which
yeah.
I love. God, if Jonathan Nolan, if you do stumble across this, please do a Dark Tower adaptation.
Yes,
You'd be
please.
great at that.
Yeah, definite gunslinger vibes there.
Yep, absolutely. It looks great. We've also got this close-up here where you can really see it a little bit more.
Okay, so aside from the nose, he's more or less just kind of a wrinkled person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't even go full Deadpool on him.
No.
They could have gone farther, but I also get it. You want the actor to be able to emote
Yeah.
and give that expression. That's what they're there for.
And they're definitely going to humanize him. I mean, he is, I guess, a human in some form, but I would imagine that they're going to want us to relate to him a little bit more. So.
Yeah, well, they're giving us his whole backstory.
Exactly.
They said he's
so-
going to be the protagonist before the war and the antagonist
Right.
at the end of the
So
war.
we're going to want to relate to him. We're going to want to sympathize and empathize with him. So I get them toning it down a little bit, making him a little more human-like.
For sure.
Yeah.
It looks like he's in front of a saloon here, and that looks also, even though fuzzy, it looks right.
You can tell immediately the aesthetic.
I love it. I'm so excited.
It looks fantastic.
Here's one of Ella and Kyle as father and daughter, Lucy,
Okay.
and overseer Hank.
Sure.
And it looks like they're in a classroom of some sort. You can see the wall over there. It says
yeah.
resistors and current, and it's got some current diagrams there. But again, the Vault-Tec uniforms look awesome. He even has a Vault Boy.
He has a Pip-Boy.
He has a Pip-Boy right there, and you can see the Vault Boy right on his arm.
And it looks like a vault. Like, you got that sort of 1950s retro-futuristic thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I love it. They captured the essence of this
really
so well. And he looks way better than as the captain, where he was a little terrifying.
He does, yeah.
So that's nice. And here's the last couple of shots that they gave us. This one's Ella. It looks like she just came out of the vault.
Yeah.
And it looks like she's blocking the sun.
Yes.
We've even got some lens flares here. And this just reminds me so much of that first moment.
Yep.
You know, whatever Fallout game you played first, assuming it wasn't 1 or 2.
Right.
But 3, 4, or New Vegas, although New Vegas didn't really have it, but the lens flare.
When you first step out of the vault and it's just pure white, and then it fades back.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that moment. The
Yep.
first time I played Fallout 3 so vividly, and that was, I don't want to think about how long ago. And it was such a cool moment.
Yeah, it really was.
And it looks like she's getting that same moment here. I love the wind blowing.
Yep.
So that looks great. I love the uniform is so spot on. You can see she's got something tucked down here, some sort of
Water bottle or something.
water bottle or some sort of something.
Dude, from these photos, it's looking like they nailed the aesthetic.
Oh, yeah. And I hope that they got more than just the aesthetic. That's kind of my worry.
Oh, I know. The aesthetic is the first step.
It really is.
And see, look at that.
And here's a really cool shot looking out at some of what appears to be like a
Kind of a shanty town.
shanty town, kind of akin to, what was the one in Fenway?
Oh, Diamond City.
Diamond City,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Yep, and that's perfect. You got the airplane cockpit just serving as another part of the building.
Exactly.
Yep.
So my guess is that this is her first walking in on a settlement.
Whatever settlement she comes across first, yeah.
My guess is that all of these screenshots are from the first episode.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
It
yeah.
looks like this is the saloon
Oh, I think
that
you're
he
right.
was standing in front of.
I think you're right, yep.
It looks like everything's going to be right there, probably in the first 20 minutes.
Right.
There were some leaked footage, some leaked pictures from the set, which we won't really get into too much. I want to stay away from stuff like that overall. Right. But you're welcome to look it up if you're interested. So there we have the pictures that have been released so far, guys. Again, releasing on April 12th, 2024.
I'm really excited. This is going to be cool.
Me too. So those pictures look awesome.
Yeah.
And I am really excited to see what the series is going to look like.
Yeah.
They've absolutely taken care and consideration in everything they're doing.
100%. I'm really looking forward to it.
What are some things you'd like to see out of the series?
Well, I mean, obviously everyone wants to see a nuke. I mean, it's
okay.
it's Fallout. I mean, you're gonna expect that at some point.
Christopher Nolan.
Hey, it is exactly. It is Christopher Nolan. He loves his explosions, so I think that's probably going to happen at some point. Obviously, the Brotherhood of Steel is going to be in it, which I think will be really cool.
Yeah, the power armor looks sick. Those pictures are awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, I agree. I really want to see some of that like side world of Fallout. You know, like the pictures obviously have like the grand sweeping shots and stuff like that and the big power armor. But I want to see like the farmer with his razor grain and his two-headed cows, you know.
Honestly, some of the best parts of playing any Fallout game is just going to explore random settlements, just chatting with people, and just kind of immersing yourself in the world.
Oh, definitely. I hope they take some time to do that.
Absolutely.
You know, this is being compared a lot to The Last of Us, which was done by HBO. I don't know if you've seen that.
I have not. I have not seen it. I haven't
It's
even played the
great.
game either. I know it's sacrilege for a gamer, but I've also never owned a PlayStation since the PS2. So
all of that, same for me. But I did see the series, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
It took its time. It dug into the world that it was exploring. And that's what makes a video game adaptation good.
Yeah.
You know, Detective Pikachu, I know not everybody agrees it was perfect. I love it. I think it's such a great adaptation.
I enjoyed it. It was a really good movie.
You really feel like you're in that world. Everything feels organic and natural and flows, and I love that.
Yeah.
Do you have any theories on where the story might go or what we might be looking at?
It's hard to say. I mean, it's kind of been such an open world this entire time. It's kind of... there's really good stories in Fallout, but you always kind of have to go and search for them yourself. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
There's always the main plot, which I mean, they could do something similar to a main plot to one of the games. I think they're not going to, but I don't know.
I mean, it kind of seems like they're doing something similar with it because they've got the whole, you know, she's on some sort of mission to save whomever.
Right.
I think it'll be her brother.
Probably.
That's my theory because he's in 8 episodes, right? They've released his name. And that's it.
Yeah.
So, you know, in Fallout 3, you're out to find your dad.
Right.
In Fallout 4, you're out to find your son. In Vegas, you're out for revenge, but that seems unrelated here.
That's true, yeah.
Although LA is very close to New Vegas, so I would love to see some nods to that, you know, at least subtle, you know, little mentions of Caesar or the Hoover Dam. I don't know. It's just something little. You know, maybe somebody's playing with a poker chip, just little stuff.
That'd be cool.
I really hope they take the time to dig into those little tiny Easter eggs.
That's really what's always made Fallout great, is all the Easter eggs, all the little tiny bits of the world that you go out and find, and of course, you loot everything, because we've been ingrained to loot everything in video games for years at this point.
So true.
So we're going into every single corner of every single building and finding all the little Easter eggs that they hide around everywhere.
Yep.
And I hope they incorporate some of that world building and just cool stuff, just cool stuff in the background in the TV show.
I hope we find bobbleheads. I want to see a
awesome.
bobblehead.
They should definitely make bobbleheads a thing.
They mentioned something weird that I didn't talk about earlier. Apparently, the backstory of Vault Boy is gonna be in this.
Oh, really?
I don't know what that means. That part I'm kind of skeptical about. It feels kind of dumb.
For anybody who doesn't know, Vault Boy is the titular character on the Fallout box. He's that little guy in the blue jumpsuit with the thumb up. That he is Vault Boy.
Yep. The thumb up is because in the 50s they believed that if you saw a nuke and you held your thumb out at arm's distance, as long as the mushroom cloud was smaller than your thumb, you were safe. They were wrong, and a lot of them are dead.
Okay.
That's the truth, though.
So don't trust the thumb, folks.
No, don't trust the thumb. But that's the origin of Vault Boy. At least in reality, we'll see what he is in the show.
Is that where the rule of thumb came from?
No, the rule of thumb came from You used to be able to hit people, and as long as the bruise was narrower than your thumb, it was okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's true.
That got dark. Anyway, back to Fallout.
It did, but you asked, and I had to tell you. But with Fallout, I'm really excited. It's going to be set, I think, about 215 years after the nukes go off.
Okay.
So the world is obviously more established than in the atrocity they tried to call Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Although I actually do have Vault 76 sitting right here, so how much do I hate it, I guess.
Now, supposedly 76 is a fun game now.
It is. I've played a little bit of it.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
But I'm really, really excited to see this adaptation.
Me too.
And we'll be back once they drop some trailers, some new content. We'll be back to bring you all of the information as soon as it comes out.
Absolutely.
We'll have weekly reviews of the episodes. I think they're doing weekly launches.
Awesome.
We'll go through some of the Easter eggs we can find, some of the hidden notes and details, and see if maybe some of our predictions can come true.
Hopefully. That'd be cool.
So we'll see where all that goes. Again, I am personally really excited to see Ella Purnell. I was heartbroken when Prodigy was canceled.
Yeah.
I was thrilled when the Grand brought it back. And it's just been a hell of a weird ride. So I'm excited to see her getting out and doing new things.
Yeah. I'm just excited for the series in general. I think it's a really cool world that really lends itself well to a good TV show. And if they do it well, I mean, Christopher Nolan at the helm, Jonathan Nolan. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, John, if you're watching this.
Yeah, if you stumble across this one.
I know, right? But I think it has the potential to be really, really good.
I think so too. That's about all we have time for today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in and sticking with us this long. If you enjoyed what you saw today and you want to see some more, please do like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification so you don't miss any of our upcoming content. We've got a book club we're starting up. Our first book's going to be The Martian by Andy Weir.
Yep.
If you haven't read it, go check it out. If you've seen the movie, read it anyway. It's really good.
Great book.
Yep. After that, we'll be doing the Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi. So you got some time to pick that one up too.
Yep.
We've got reviews coming out, tutorials. We've got some work going on Ark Survival Ascended. Hope we see you over there on the Ark. Guys, if you have any thoughts on the Amazon Prime adaptation of Fallout, drop some comments down below. What do you want to see? What do you not want to see? What are you scared they'll do?
It's always going to be something.
Oh, always. Always. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I'm David.
And I'm Ethan.
We're the Risen Empire, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.